Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Krzysztof Wandachowicz. I work at the Poznań University of Technology, the Institute of Light and Electrodermal Technology. I'd like to present the presentation, which is the result of a cooperation with the GL Optic company that is located near Poznań. We're talking about the luminance measurement of the road surface using a magnetic luminance measurement device. The subject is about road lighting. We all know very well that road lighting is highly important for road safety. During this conference, you did mention road safety a number of times, but the subject of road lighting and street lamps is really the only way of presenting this sort of information. We've been dealing with the subject for a long time now, and we carry out measurements of road lighting on different sections of national roads, motorways, urban areas, non-urban areas, and we evaluate the quality of the lighting systems by comparing them with the requirements of the currently binding Polish standard. It's called 13201. The last version is from 2015. We're also teachers, designers, and after running a number of measurements, we found a number of issues that have not been fully solved. What are the problems? Very frequently when we run our measurements, we want to check whether the project was properly performed. So have the project design assumptions been fulfilled? This is an expressway which was classified ME as ME2, and average luminance of road surface should be more than 1.5 candela per square meters. And as a result of the measurements, we've noticed that the value of luminance are for the most lower, sometimes even below 1 candela per square meter. Not always the requirements were also met for the longitudinal evenness. The question is why the differences if the project was designed properly and realized. We are analyzing all kinds of cases. When a designer is responsible for the project, they have to assume a certain reflective characteristics of the road surface, and it can be different on the actual road, and this will obviously affect the values of road luminance. Also, once the project is realized, is implemented, the actual lamps can be distributed differently than in the design. That cannot. Sometimes there are conditions that make it impossible to distribute them evenly or in the way that the designer designed. Usually, you get a straight section. You usually assume in the design that the road section will be straight and flat. It usually, in practice, it never is. So the problems that I mentioned could result from those elements. But here I am presenting to you a result of calculation for a design where we have road surface classified as ME1, where the luminance should be more than 2 candelas per square meters. Measurement indicates that the values are even half that, like 50% of the design. This means that we have to say that the factors that I mentioned earlier were not really the reason. The differences are too big. The discrepancy is too big. Where do the discrepancies come from? It seems that it is only the measurement of luminance of the road surface is the final way to verify, to test whether the road lighting is properly done. And road lighting is of highest importance for road safety. We measure luminance with a variety of measurements. We used to have spot measurements. We had to position them very precisely, aim at measurement points. There are obviously a lot of problems with that. You have 1 minute left. We therefore now use a matrix-based measurement, which works a little bit like a camera. It takes a snapshot, and then that snapshot is analyzed. On the market, however, there are no measurements that would make it possible to conveniently make measurements outside the lab. Matrix measurements are designed to be used in a lab. So we started a project that came up from GL, it was promoted by GL Optics and financed by the R&D fund, and we designed this type of luminance measurement device. It has a number of unique novel solutions. It was calibrated at the laboratory of GL Optic. The company has a model of a perfectly black body as the only lab in Central and Eastern Europe. The meter is fitted with a lot of accessories. In addition to interesting technology, it is designed to be used on site, on the road. So it has accessories that make it possible to mark out the measurement field. It has various ways that allow it to be transported softly. There's a package, there's battery, there's a battery pack. We used it already to evaluate the quality of lighting on the motorway section of Poznań Ring Road. And not long ago, these sort of measurements were carried out there with the use of this new equipment. So thank you very much for your attention.